One of the biggest risks a small company has is not having skill redundancy. This could halt an entire company. Want to know how to avoid that? Continue watching. I should clarify that I'm not talking about redundant jobs, which are positions that are no longer needed, because that's a common term used in business also. I'm talking about purposefully building in skill redundancy by having multiple people doing the same role. Why? Because you want to make sure that if an employee is not available suddenly, then someone else in the company can step in and provide that same skill. Essentially, you want to have as few single point of failures as possible. So I'm going to give you 3 ways to reduce this risk. 1. Grow your team so that you have more than one staff doing one role. This may not be possible for every role in your company unless you have a very large company, but do this for at least the production type of roles since they will be doing 80% of the work in the business. Small companies and startups always run this risk because they do not yet have multiple people doing that same role. The same person might be wearing multiple hats. You want to get out of that as quick as possible because there is so much risk with having no redundancy for these types of roles. Imagine you have one person doing production. If they had to go on an extended leave, then your production will be halted. I actually had this happen in one of my companies. I had 2 production people and they both left only 1 month apart from each other. I really had to scramble quickly to replace those roles. In that example, I had a bit of redundancy already because I had 2 staff doing similar jobs. But because of the coincidence of them leaving at similar times, it was still too close for comfort. And the other risk is when you have one staff wearing too many hats. If that staff is no longer available for any reason, then you have multiple functions that needs to be picked up by someone else. So from this sense, the owner or manager of a small company is always the highest risk because they typically perform multiple roles. They wear multiple hats. This is why you want to scale your business so that you as the business owner can pass on some of those roles and you don't become that single point of failure that everyone relies on. 2. Implement processes so that it's not just in one person's head. If you have a documented process, then it can be easily trained to someone else if needed. An example of this would be having a document that shows what the production process is. It could be a flow chart that shows what is the sequence from the beginning of the production cycle when an order is placed to how it gets passed on along to different team members and to final distribution. If you have such a process in place and it's documented, then the whole process is not dependent on one person knowing that process. If you do this, then everyone knows what the process should be and there's not one single point of failure that can halt the production cycle. 3. Rely on systems more than on people. You're trying to create a company with automated systems so that even if someone is away from an extended period of time, the company is automated enough to continue operating. Examples of this could be using a CRM software, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. Instead of your salesperson taking manual notes in their notebook, the CRM is a software that logs customer information, sales follow-up notes, and other information pertinent to the sales funnel. By having this as a software, all of these client information and transactions are now accessible by anyone else in the company. Imagine if the salesperson logged all of their information in their personal notebook. What would happen if that salesperson got into an accident? How would you retrieve this information for the rest of your sales department to continue to function? So I hope this has got you thinking about the risk that your company is exposed to. Let me know what you think about it. Whether you agree or disagree or have other comments, please drop them in the comment section below and I'd love to hear about it. And if you like this video, please click that like button and share it with your network. It'll help me greatly as I build my channel and it allows me to bring more of these tips to you. I'm Eric Lee and I can turbocharge your success.